Hey guys, my name's Ganning. I just wanted to give a quick demo of how to add your projects to Cybershuttle. So right here we have the Cybershuttle website pulled up. The only difference right now for me is that I'm on my local version. For you, have to be going to cybershuttle.org and following along, but they're going to be the exact same process either way. So once I'm on Cybershuttle, you have to first make sure that you're logged in. So if you're not logged in, click on the blue login button here and then follow through the login process. And to actually add something, you're going to first need to go to the Add tab, and then you have to decide whether to add a repository or a project. And for the purposes of this class, you're going to have to first add a repository and then add a project. And for a bit of context, so a repository is any simple GitHub repository, right? So I could have a repository on GitHub and I would add it to Cybershuttle under repository. Project, however, is comprised of a single repository and multiple data sets. The only required part for a project is the repository. So I could have 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. number of data sets as part of that project as well. So if your project that you're uploading depends on a data set, you would include those data sets, but if not, then you would not include those data sets. If you want a data set to be added, feel free to contact me or Yasith about it. There's a bit more of a manual process, but we'll be happy to walk you through it. And so let's get started. So first we're gonna walk through adding a repository and then creating a project from that. So in order to create a repository, I'm gonna first click on repository, and then I'm gonna go to the repository I want to add. For reference, this is going to be what I want. And whenever you're in your repository, you have to have a cybershuttle.yml file, or else this is not gonna work. And your cybershuttle.yml file, your YAML file should be structured like this. Feel free to copy the template that is provided in the reference repository if you want. The only thing you need to change is change your project details. And authors, it has to be your email, right? So this is gonna be my email, and this email has to be enabled in Cybershuttle. So if it's not, you'll have to either contact Suresh or Yasit about this, and we'll have to enable you on Cybershuttle admin. And please make sure to provide which email you're using on this website in order to be enabled. Okay, cool. So now that I have this all added, one small thing as well, make sure to change your tags to be relevant to your actual project. So if it deals with machine learning or something like that, make sure to include that as a tag. So I'm gonna go into here, and then all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this GitHub URL, paste it in here, and then it's gonna dynamically pull that Cybershuttle YAML file. And if you, for some reason, notice that you made a mistake, please go back into your cybershuttle.yaml file and commit the changes. And we will only be pulling the changes from your main or master branch of your GitHub repository. And once you make that change, if you notice that you have a mistake, it might take around 5 to 10 minutes for the change to actually propagate on the pulling your cybershuttle.yaml step. Because of how GitHub's servers are, we're working on improving that. But as of right now, you'll have to wait around 5 to 10 minutes after actually making the change before it will show up on this page, right? And just to verify that it worked, when you pull it, you should have your most accurate details. And when you're here, then your next step is going to be to click Add Repository. And then you'll be taken to this page. And then if I scroll down, I'll be able to see that this is mine that I just added, right? A new catalog entry, a new catalog entry. So if I click into this, this is going to be the new repository that I added, and everything is on this page. Awesome. And just for a bit of debugging, if you notice that something is not working when you click Add Repository, that is going to be because your email is probably not activated yet. So please email or please text on Teams Suresh or Yasith about that. All right, cool. So now that we've added a repository, the next step is going to be adding a project. And in terms of adding a project, I'm going to click Project. For project name, I'm going to say, this is a new project. Name it something that's related to your project, but for this demo, I'm just going to name it this. Repository, I'm going to say my repository name was a new catalog entry, so new catalog. Go ahead and find it. And then it should pop up here. Dataset, you could choose whether or not which datasets you want to have. For example, if I type F, we should be able to see these datasets. If I just include this one, I could also include these. If your project doesn't use that data set, you don't have to include any, but if it does, you can also include it here. Cool. So to add a project, I just hit submit and boom. All right, it's right here. And if you want to actually make sure that everything went through and worked, you can go ahead and start a project session. So sessions are essentially created off of projects and allow you to run your code that is in this repository. Right? So I have a Python notebook right here, and to run it, I hit start project session and then create session, and it'll take a second. Boom, boom, boom. Awesome. So now that this is created, I see that I have my notebook file, and then within here, I have data sets that I included as well. But yeah, that should be about it for what you're going to need to do to upload a project to Cybershuttle. If you have any questions, please feel free to text me on Teams or email me. I'm always happy to answer any questions. But